It's Arcade Couch, but at E3, you just watch the show. Now watch 3 morons, maybe 4, talk about the conference afterwards, oh yeah.
Welcome to the first ever bonus episode of E3 wrap-ups. Predict what's happening at E3. I don't know what we're calling them anyway. Bonus episode of Arcade Couch wrap-up. It's very early in the morning if you can't tell by the
so good
stumblings of the words. Been up. If you don't live in Australia, you don't know these things start at ridiculous times. You wake up at ridiculous times. I woke up at 4. Kieran hasn't been to bed. Ash woke up at 6:01.
That was last year, okay? Not again.
Oh, yeah. But joining me, Kieran Marchant, the Xbox.
Hey, what's up?
The ex-Xbox fan.
I'm still an Xbox fan. I'm just not a diehard.
Okay.
Not Bruce Willis.
And Ashley Hobley, the most definitely hates Game Pass fan.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. So we're going to run through what happened at and during Xbox's E3 conference. I'm just going to run down what they have posted on their Twitter because of technical issues led me to completely forget to take notes for this, which I think is a fair excuse because I was ready to throw everything out the window while I was recording our reacts, but that's fine. So here we are now. So before we do that though, what is everyone's overall thoughts on the show this year? How do they feel? Go with you first, Ash.
It was a solid showing. I mean, it was very informative. Obviously, they had a lot of like Xbox bigger like things they needed to talk about, like Game Pass and the Game Pass Ultimate thing, and obviously Project Scarlet was their big thing as well. But there were some odd choices for games that probably, I don't know, were the best for this type of audience, like Microsoft Flight Simulator and, and Age of Empires. I don't know how much that excited people.
Let's be honest, there was some padding. There was some padding to get to that 60 games shown kind of thing.
I'm not 100% sure they got to 60.
Someone's going to go back and count the indies.
They counted a lot of the games that they would have shown in like the highlight reel moments before.
But there wasn't even that many highlight reels. Unless they're counting the games they brought to Xbox Game Pass, like Rise of...
Maybe.
Rise of the Tomb Raider and Arkham Knight.
I think one thing to always be aware of for Xbox is their keywords may not always mean what you think they mean.
Yeah, they're just buzzwords.
60
Kieran,
games.
What do you think of Xbox this year?
I thought the pacing of the show was really weird. There were a couple big moments one particular big moment that happened in the show happened at a super weird time, in my opinion. And it was because if they put it later in the show, it would have definitely overblown anything that happened afterwards. So they had to kind of put it in the middle of the show. So it was
talking about the Keanu thing?
Yeah, like I feel like that was super weird. That like I was super surprised that Cyberpunk was on when it was on, and then Keanu happened, and then it kind of made sense. But then, yeah, they had to put it on then so that the whole Xbox announcements at Halo Infinity didn't have to like directly follow it. I guess I think it would have been worse for them if they had to directly follow Keanu fucking Reeves being at E3, but. Other than that, I was okay. I was disappointed in Gears of War. Gears of War was a bit disappointing, but I'm a Gears of War story fan, not a Gears of War multiplayer modes fan. And I think this was here's a tiny tad of like story Billie Eilishness, and then here's some multiplayer stuff. And the multiplayer stuff's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's just not my cup of tea. I was really happy that when I flicked through that Outer Worlds started the show. I really liked that Obsidian still were like, yep, we're an Xbox developer, even though this game isn't Xbox exclusive yet. But
it is coming to Game Pass day one, though.
It definitely is coming to Game Pass.
That's a big thing.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I think every game that was shown was coming to Game Pass, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's being published by
except for like Cyberpunk and stuff. Cyberpunk and stuff like that isn't. But
yeah. Yet.
Oh my! If that.
We'll see. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good, great show. Nothing mind melting, I suppose, but that doesn't mean it's a bad show. That's not the thing. Like the Keanu thing, I think is going to be most people's standout, I guess, which is weird. Like in perspective, to be like, what was the best thing from Microsoft's E3 conference? Keanu Reeves. I don't know if that's good for a games conference for it to be the best thing to be a celebrity. And
I don't know what it is, but there is something more when Microsoft does a press conference or does the E3 showings. It's more of it feels more businessy. It feels more conferencey. It feels more. Hi, I'm Phil Spencer, and I'm talking to you, and I'm presenting games and stuff like that. Where PlayStation's conferences in the past are more of a spectacle. They're more of
because they just play 20 trailers in a row and never come out and say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's more of a spectacle, and
Except
I think that's
year.
It's more of a spectacle, and I think that's what loses Microsoft a little bit, and I think that's why they're lucky this year that PlayStation's not doing anything, but maybe also at the same time, maybe PlayStation's lucky that they're not doing anything, because if PlayStation had fallen flat compared to that show without having Keanu on PlayStation, then what are they going to do, man? But it's an interesting point. It's an interesting spot to be in for Xbox at the moment.
Okay, so let's run through, and we'll stop on anything that people are more interested in, obviously, from what we're showing. So as you just said, first thing that was got Outer Worlds. Not Outer Wilds. The Outer Worlds was shown.
Freaking Dylan, right?
The Outer Worlds was shown.
Why would you release two games in the same year with one Valve difference?
It's ridiculous. It's becoming quite annoying. It's becoming a big problem in my life, to be honest.
What, Ash? How do you spell wilds and how do you spell worlds?
WIRLDS.
A vowel and a consonant, okay.
I'd like one constant, please, sir. So that's obviously really good. October 25th. You don't have to buy the game if you've got Game Pass.
That's awesome.
Get excited.
And it looks like it's coming to a Game Pass for PC, so that's even better for me. So.
But yeah, that'll probably be one of the year's big Western RPGs for sure. So if not,
it looks good.
Potentially, yeah, it looks really good.
It still looks very Fallout.
100%, but we're not complaining.
It looks like, for me, I'm not complaining. It's like Fallout and Borderlands had a kid.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yep. That's pretty accurate.
I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's fine. I'm awesome. That's cool.
Next thing was you had the new game from Ninja Theory.
I was very weirded out by this game, by the way, because I was like,
this thing kind of leaked, or not leaked, or leaked kind of, but was rumored for a while. So it's called Outsiders. It's a 4v4 online melee.
No, it's Bleeding Edge, isn't it?
Bleeding Edge, sorry. Bleeding Edge, yeah. I started reading the thing backwards. Bleeding Edge, 4v4 online multiplayer. So when this leaked like a week or so ago, or they began talking about it last couple of days, apparently this was a game that Ninja Theory had been working on like for quite some time. And this is like, this isn't something they've started working on since Microsoft acquired them.
No.
This is just something that they'd been working on for quite some time, and now it's going to come out. And it's like a lot of these studios Microsoft has picked up. All of these games that they were like working on are still going to come out for
other people,
multiple platforms and whatever else.
Like, they were probably working on this pre-Hellblade.
I think so.
That's what,
which is why
at the same time.
It definitely feels like it was made pre-Hellblade because it looks a hell of a lot like Overwatch and what was the other one? Battleborn.
Battleborn, and there was the other one as well. Yeah. There's and Paladins. I find this really weird because when I think of Ninja Theory now, I think of Hellblade, and I was excited for another Hellblade style game, and then they come out with that, and I was like, oh no. I hope it's okay. I don't know. I like that it's melee. I guess it makes it.
That's different. A bit different, yeah.
Makes it a bit different from Overwatch and everything else, but
there's a character clearly shooting in the trailer as well. Is the thing?
Yeah, there was a character with a big gun, and I was like, okay, is that
the gun's out of bullets?
they just jabbing people with it, just like punching upwards. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't like super hyped on it for sure.
No,
but at the same time, I'd be keen to give it a go or at least see more because. I don't know.
You'll get it on Game Pass.
You get on
like,
Game Pass anyway, so jump on it, give it a go. But yeah, I definitely feel like most people are going to feel the same way about this thing, which is we loved Hellblade, and now like we want a story thing again. We don't want this. But
I feel like that's a sentence we're going to use a lot for games throughout Xbox conferences now and going on into the future. Is you'll get it on Game Pass, so you may as well play it. Like, there's going to be more eyes on these games than possibly before, because I know I would not try that game if it wasn't on Game Pass.
Well,
on Game Pass,
last episode of Arcade Couch, I literally talked about two games that I only tried because they were on Game Pass. And one of them I really, really like. Another one I'm not a big fan of, but still think it's going to be one of the games of the year. So, and it's like just that easy thing of opening up Xbox or even the app on your phone and just being like, oh yeah, cool, download. We'll try it, whatever. Like, I remember Outer Wilds, I started downloading that at 11 o'clock and was playing it at 11:30 just randomly because I was like, oh, I don't want to go to bed yet. And then I played it for like an hour to 12:30 and then went to bed.
Yep.
Didn't have to spend money. So same thing will happen for a lot of these Game Pass games, I think. Okay, so next thing was Ori. Got another trailer. 11th of February, 2020. Not this year.
Yeah.
Ages away.
No.
I think a lot of people are going to be quite
Surprising.
disappointed with the release date.
I think
it was expected this year, I think.
Isn't it better that it's put back? Like, I'm happy that the devs could take them, like, didn't feel, even though the wider community was like, we wanted it this year, the devs probably had a better view of the game and went, nah, we need another 2-3 months just to make sure it's
surprising, because this is probably the third year in a row they've shown it.
And like, it was playable at PAX last year.
Yeah, they play it. It was you could play it at PAX, so it looks beautiful still. It looks
and guess what? Probably be playable at PAX this year, guys.
Probably.
If you want another go. So yeah, I don't think there's much to say about that one. It's like,
No.
just waiting
Well,
more.
at least I know the deadline to play the first one.
Well, yeah, that's the deadline is extended to play the first one. Then we gotta look at this new dungeon crawler thing called Minecraft Dungeons. So
I'm in for this. It's Diablo, but with Minecraft. I'm like, yeah, sure.
That's what I said.
Let's go.
yeah. I mean, it's literally exactly what you just said. It's Minecraft, but with Diablo. But at the same time, I'm not a huge Minecraft fan, but I would probably be more keen to try this than... It doesn't like rely on you being a fan of the actual game,
I was only half in on this game until I saw it was multiplayer. The moment it was multiplayer, I was like, yeah, cool.
And also 4-player online co-op, not just offline co-op. So
Yeah.
don't have to get fucked over by all those things. That it's also coming to PS4 and Switch, though, is the clarification on that one.
Yeah.
It's not an Xbox exclusive thing.
I think Microsoft is pretty happy with just letting Minecraft be everywhere and just...
I still find it funny because after they brought it, I expected them to continue pushing updates for like the actual core game, but I didn't think all these extra things would come out to multiple consoles.
Nah, I think it would. It kind of makes sense that Microsoft is, that Minecraft is a universal kind of game for all consoles, and Microsoft just kind of gets to lap up.
They're really extending this Minecraft IP too between this and the Go game.
Oh hell yeah! The fact that you're like, oh crap, you're doing something else with Minecraft. Like when the enemy flashed up on the screen, like the big boss enemy, I was like, Minecraft, and then they kind of kept going. I was like, oh okay, that's fine, whatevs. It looks kind of interesting.
So then they talked about this Game Pass for a little bit and all these sorts of things. Hyped up the whole 60 games thing coming. Then we got another trailer. Well, I don't even know if it was a trailer really, but Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It's weird to call it a trailer because it was like the start of it was what, if you've read like the Game Informer article that came out yesterday about Jedi Fallen Order and some other articles, they had got to play this other section, and a lot of press at EA Play got to go behind doors and play this other section of Jedi Fallen Order that takes place the 15 minutes prior to where the live stream demo that the public got to see in the stream took place. And that's what the start of this trailer is showing you, that section right before. But then after all that section's chopped together, it then shows you just a bunch of stuff from the demo that was shown yesterday anyway. So it was like an intertwine of both footage. Nothing. It was cool to see the AT-AT thing, which reading about yesterday sounded really cool because they said you'll climb up the thing and then you have to take it down and climb inside it, and then it's the first time we get to see what the inside of one of those looks like, and it's the first time it's had to be designed for the Star Wars world at the moment, and you get to control it. And cool, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, another trailer, cool.
Yeah.
Can I say, going back to the gameplay demo that we got yesterday, it's once again, and I mentioned this in the Hideo Kojima trailer for freaking Death Stranding, the person playing that was terrible. It was actually really bad.
You say that, apparently they were pitching, because everyone online, and myself included, I didn't say this online, but I had similar thoughts when I was watching it, was that it looked easy, or it looked too easy, right?
Yeah.
And apparently the game is actually quite challenging, and they EA and Respawn, whoever, was pitching that the person that was playing that demo was really good, and that's why it looked so easy.
They looked really bad. Like, there was like some dodge commands they just obviously missed, and I'm like, what? Like, this just seems
they wanted
bad.
to make it look like someone was actually playing it. Do you think everybody's going to be perfect?
It was just no, but like, there's good, like, you know, they're not all you, Ashley. They could be like just a normal.
They just wanted to show you can get hit a couple of times. Yeah.
But,
it's not insta kill.
But I felt it kind of feels weird. Like, it feels like there's only a limited amount of this game ready. Like,
no,
like it's
Game Informer article, they said they'd seen stuff that they're not allowed to talk about yet, like other
Oh,
planets.
okay, that's fine. All right, cool. Sweet.
I believe that they're purposely just showing Kashyyyk stuff because it's a recognizable planet, and it's not a new planet, which means they don't have to spend a bunch of time talking about the origins.
They don't have
of
to
a new
explain
planet.
everything. Yeah,
it's just like it's Kashyyyk. You know,
what's the ecosystem like?
Yeah, and it's very
What's the
basic
currency?
gameplay to just be like, here's at work, you know, whatever.
It just keeps the Star Wars nerds at bay.
Yeah, pretty much is exactly
Yeah.
what I think it is. Yeah. So next thing that was shown was Battletoads. I personally give zero fucks about this, and I gave zero fucks when it was released last year. I think it looks good, like the design and everything. It looks like a fucking 90s cartoon, and that's really awesome. But do I want to play Battletoads? No. Does anyone care about this?
Nah, I wasn't like. It's not like Battletoads was a thing of my childhood. Or I think for whoever had Battletoads when they were a kid growing up, sure, this is gonna be really big. But for everybody else,
I've played the original one, and I hated it because it was too
really?
hard. Yeah,
Oh.
I played it when I was a kid on fuck, I don't even remember now. Whatever console that my grandparents got from a garage sale somewhere, and like, here, let me torture you. Would you like to play
Let me torture you.
Battletoads? So then they showed a ID at Xbox trailer, bunch of games. Some like what's the drinking the devil one? After Party. Pathological 2, which is out, I believe, it's out on Steam at the moment. I don't know if it's out on Xbox yet or if it's coming or something
Overdrive?
like that.
No, it's not Overdrive. It's something Drive. I can't remember.
A Drive Static or whatever.
Dead Static.
Dead Drive Static, the Australian one.
Whatever.
Bunch of indie games. So that was cool. Bunch of cool new games coming. They'll all be Game Pass games as well, so that's the thing. Then they talked about the PC Game Pass thing, which they talked about. They first revealed like a week ago, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago or something like that. They released information about it first. So they revealed a couple. They pitched it with fucking Soccer Manager and whatever it was.
Why did Football Manager keep getting brought up?
I don't know.
The first two games they brought it, I was like,
Football Manager is a huge game for PC, so an annualized series.
I like how Ash is like, guys, I'm the biggest Game Pass hater here, but let me tell you about how good PC Game Pass is.
No, I'm just saying Football Manager. If I don't have to pay freaking $60 every year, that's
Every.
So are you going to pay for Game Pass?
No,
if
probably
only, if only just so you can get your fucking Football Manager?
maybe not just.
Maybe not just.
I like how Ash has a fucking laptop that's falling apart, but he's like, Game Pass, shit. I was coming to PC. Yeah, I'm in. My football managers.
Yeah, I think the two games that they showed at the start made me feel like PC was going to be a flop. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, me too.
Oh boy.
I was like, what is this? But then they showed
a
rest.
Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, that was afterwards, but they started with
They started terribly,
badly.
I think.
They started really badly.
Are you, as the prominent PC player, Karen? How do you feel about it in full with all the games they eventually showed? You know, you got all the you got a heap of stuff coming.
As I said in Twitch chat during the thing, I've already upgraded to the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, so I've got PC. I was a bit annoyed actually at first because when I realized that PC was a separate subscription, I was like, "Wait,
this is my issue." Yeah,
that's annoying. That's really crap.
Yes,
like, that's really bad. Why is that a different set of money? And then
different set of money.
Different set of money. You know, just different set. Yeah. I was like, why is this not just one Game Pass for everybody? Why is there two separate Game Passes? That makes almost zero sense. And then the Ultimate kind of helped, like the fact that Game Pass Ultimate and Xbox Live Gold is all in the same thing. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's not bad. Okay, sure. Yeah.
This is the thing that sold me though, because they announced Ultimate obviously like a couple months ago, whenever it was, and I was like, because it didn't really save you money to get both Game Pass plus your Xbox Live Gold in the Game Pass in the Ultimate thing. It was just like, if you're getting both, maybe get it here. I'm like, I'm not changing my subscription because that doesn't make it cheaper. But then when they announced today, obviously that the PC Game Pass will be free for the Ultimate thing. Yeah. All of a sudden, the Ultimate thing is worth its money,
and you can get Game Pass. You can go Game Pass Ultimate in the minute for $1. So if you want to test out the PC, pay for $1. I pay for my Game Pass and I pay for my Xbox Live Gold yearly. And so when I went to manage it and go, yeah, give me Ultimate, they're like, do you want to just convert all your time over? And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. And then it says my next scheduled payment is like next year. So, yeah, cool, sweet. I'll accept that. Like, if I don't have to pay anything for Xbox, like I can play Outer Worlds and everything without having to pay any more money. That's pretty good for me. So I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into switching my subscription now too, because even just the idea of being like, and enabling myself to try out games on both PC and Xbox if I want to, because I just upload the save file, download it from the cloud, do what I need to do, and being able to access the same games across both platforms. That's exciting. There's some games on Game Pass that I may want to play on PC rather than Xbox anyway, so
there's a lot of like RTS games and stuff that you're like, this would be
football managers and so next thing they talked about after all the Xbox Game Pass thing was a bunch of PC centric stuff. The first of which was Microsoft Flight Simulator, which was of course somewhat funny. I think it looks really pretty. It's just as Ash said, the audience for that feels weird. It feels like a game you would show at the PC show, I guess, not the Xbox show, but yet they did show it, and then they also announced the Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, which, as I pointed out in the thing, it was quite funny because the Age of Empires 1, like Definitive Edition, or whatever it's called, that had the 4K makeover, was announced at the PC show last year.
But it's now, that ties into, because it's now confirmed for Game Pass for PC.
Yeah.
So Age of Empires 1, 2, and 3 Definitive you get with Game Pass when it comes out.
I don't know if they needed old trailers, though. For this stuff.
Age of Empires is big
just
enough.
Selling your PC Game Pass, so
I guess.
Makes sense.
Then they showed a trailer for Wasteland 3. It's cool. Didn't have a release date still, so not super. That once again, another studio
way different.
Then what?
It looks
more
Wastelands? XCOM-y. Yeah, just the camera looks slightly different.
I still haven't played two.
It's a different studio now, right?
No, it's the same studio. They bought them.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They brought them last year, so this is Wasteland 3 will presumably be the last game that they release multi-platform before everything else continues along. Then they acquired another studio, so continues. Only one studio acquisition this E3.
I was surprised that was only one.
I was expecting about 20.
Technically, it's two because isn't it two because of Smile Jump? No.
No, they didn't acquire them. They just said there's some
They
partnership.
just have got a partnership?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So they announced they have acquired Double Fine Productions, though, which makes me both sad and... Well, it's sad because I like playing their games and I prefer to play them, obviously, on my PlayStation, but for trophies. But at the same time, I do think it's a good acquisition for Microsoft because Double Fine produces the types of games that they don't really have currently in their marketplace, I guess. So they're going to be able to fill a void here. And as I was saying during the thing, Double Fine have had a good relationship with them in the past. They did a whole heap of Kinect games with them, Disney thing, couple other things I think I remember along the lines. So if they're going to continue to work on technologies like what's the Xbox, the AR thing, like if they're going to continue working on that into the future, I could definitely see like Double Fine be one of their best studios to bring in to work on that sort of technology and stuff. But yeah, anyone have any thoughts on Tim Schafer came out? He was quite funny as per usual. So
Yep.
It's quite good.
He's a funny dude. I like Tim Schafer. I'm happy to Double Fine. I think I'm excited for more people to get access to Psychonauts because I know there's a lot of people that I still can't believe that I
haven't played it.
Psychonauts. And
played it.
Dylan's one of them.
Ashley's
one of them. Ashley, yeah, exactly. Where people are like, I haven't played Psychonauts, and you're like, how have you not played Psychonauts?
Because nobody plays Psychonauts.
It's going to end up on Games Pass. Just freaking grab it on Games Pass. Play it. It's a fantastic game. Be excited for number 2. You're welcome.
You're welcome. It does make me wonder if they're going to bring over a bunch of their games, like, and just have all of their library available on Game Pass. I guess it will.
Probably.
Most of their current library, I guess. So
I mean, it's all independent, so
there's no reason not to. I guess their best game. Now, let me pitch everyone. One of my favorite games of theirs that everyone should play at Halloween time is called Costume Quest. If you haven't played Costume Quest, you should definitely play it when we get around to Halloween this year. There's 2. There's Costume Quest 1. There's Costume Quest 2. You play as these cute little kids. They go out. They're in little RPGs. They're running around. You collect the things. You turn into monsters. It's a lot of fun. So the next thing that was announced was Gears of War. Gears of War 5 got a release date for September 10th, and they talked about a new multiplayer mode called The Escape or something or other. They drove the cameras into the undergrounds of the stage and showed off this stuff.
Got to have been a drone.
I don't know. The story stuff they talked about, as Ciaran was talking about before, wasn't really anything to get excited about. I find it really weird they did little to promote the story, really, given that the game's coming out in so many months.
I was waiting for that first bit where it was her face and Billie Eilish was playing. It lasted a little bit too long.
I'm a bad boy.
Yeah, like that's like, okay, I understand what's going on here. And then I was like, okay, multiplayer stuff, and now the big story trailer.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Big story trailer.
Yeah.
No,
but no.
The big trailer is we're running away from gas.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna. Okay, oh, right.
Is there a reason you're running away from gas? No, just it's deadly.
Well, the other thing is, they didn't show gameplay full stop.
That's true. That was all CGI,
which is a little worrying. We haven't seen gameplay yet of Gears.
You will be able to
a little bit last year.
They said they're streaming. Remember, they're streaming now or whenever it is.
Yeah, tonight. The up, down, down.
Yeah. So you're going to have gameplay out there of the escape co-op thing, right?
But we still have like next to no information about the campaign. So we don't know who you're playing as. Are you playing as Kate?
You're playing as...
I'm pretty sure you're playing as Kate.
Yeah. she's front and center in the game box art.
You didn't play as Kate for the last one.
She's front and center on the box art though.
Okay.
Come on. Maybe it's like you mix it up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If it's co-op, obviously you're not all going to play this.
Even if they're going to have escape co-op gameplay out here later, I find it weird not to show any gameplay during your E3 thing at all, considering it's their biggest game of the year. And look, we know, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, obviously, Scarlet's coming out next year, Halo's coming out for Scarlet. This is their last big game. Xbox is the last big game.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't do something with the 3 WWE superstars that were down there, because if you needed to show during your conference like a couple minutes of somebody having a good time and messing around with your game, Austin Creed / Xavier Woods probably the best person to do that. Like, he's the most ridiculous hype man about video games and playing them that is around at the minute. So, like, you could have just had a couple minutes of them already in game with the three of them just talking crap for like a couple minutes just of gameplay.
I think they'd be afraid they'd swear.
Nah, they're
they'll
PG.
beep in
Like,
everything.
they're WWE workers. They're PG workers. Like, they don't swear or anything like that. Like, they're good.
Oh, well, I've got till
Yeah,
September to continue saying that I'll play the Gears of War games before the fight comes out.
Well, you know, God damn.
As I've been saying for like 12 months now.
So 4 games in 3 months.
Yeah, it's you know, Ash, weird to think. It is possible. The thing is, it's possible. It's not impossible. You could do it in a week, really. But, you know, I'll just take holidays for Gears of War. And then they also announced a funny DLC tie-in, which is the Dark Fate Terminator thing, which is weird, but also, sure, like, that's
Sure,
a movie
why
that
not?
exists. It's coming out. Like, why
Fits
not?
in. They're all
Yeah.
robots.
It's a very weird announcement for an E3.
It is.
Like, hey guys, there's Terminator.
Is it the weirdest one tonight, though?
No,
Today, though?
not at all. No,
No,
the weirdest one was pretty awesome.
yeah, which I just
We can double back to stuff.
I was like, we can just, yeah, that's the best one. We can just leave it to last, really. So Gears of War stuff. Then they Xbox Elite Controller 2. You buying this, Ciaran?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought so.
Have you already
Yeah.
bought it?
I was like, kind of. No, I haven't yet. Depends on the price. It does depend on
It'll
the
be the
price.
same price.
If it's the exact same price, I'm actually okay with that.
I
If
got
it's more, I'll be a bit
180
mad.
US.
Yeah, so that's not bad. Because if the thing that kind of sold it for me was the charging kit for it with the internal battery and stuff, that I'm like, okay, it's good. It's as good as a PlayStation controller in that lifetime now. Like, I don't have to buy something else. I really like the Elite controller. It's the best controller I've ever used, so I'll definitely end up buying this one as well.
I kept
As
saying
long as but the thing is, the only thing that worries me, spending this on this controller when there's only a year and a bit's lifespan on.
Yeah, I presume it carries over though.
Surely.
Surely.
I'd hope so.
I don't
If
know
it
how
doesn't,
much you
I'd
can
be-
iterate on the
It's a
controller.
Bluetooth controller, so
Yeah, that's fair.
I highly doubt it's not just going to hook up to your.
Unless
Scarlett.
they're going to add extra buttons on the next one, which I doubt.
No, I'll put money on it. It's just going.
Yeah.
It's going to hook up to your next Xbox. That'd be silly if it didn't. So yeah, I didn't buy a first gen one, and I kept waiting to see if I could potentially grab one, like even just 10, 20%. You know, I kept waiting for some sort of thing.
There won't be a sale on Elite.
Just kept holding, but
There's never.
if I'm now obviously if I'm going to buy one, it'll just be the newer version, not the
Newer version that charges and
Because why not?
everything.
Because the charger thing's way better
Yeah.
than the thing. Next thing that's shown was one of my favorite things and of the things. So you got Forza Horizon 4 Lego Speed Champions expansion pack. It's coming out this week, June 13th. It was a really awesome trailer, pun intended. I'm pretty excited. Get to race around in Lego worlds and Lego cars and stuff. Yeah. Guess I'm booting Forza Horizon 4 back up.
Ashley complained about how do you drive the car when its doors are open, and then it zooms in on the car and it's made of Lego, and you're like, it's not going to be driven.
How are you
Actually,
gonna
And then
drive?
Ashley was like, how do you drive the car when it's made of Lego?
Yeah, it's true. It's got no engine.
Lego engines don't run on fuel.
Yeah.
but I'm glad they used. Look, it was a really good use of everything's awesome. It's it was a good
Yeah.
trailer. I actually
It
really
was a good
enjoyed
trailer.
it. It was really weird for
It's
the
a
three,
bazaar.
like a bazaar. God damn it, it's early. It was really weird to see the Lego McLaren pull up with a Lego person inside. I was like, this driver's been on drugs. Like this is, but they've done Hot Wheels stuff. Like I think,
It's better.
cool.
Hot Wheels. Don't compare Hot Wheels to Lego.
No, but I'm saying that Forza have done Hot Wheels expansions, so Lego isn't too far of a stretch.
Yeah, well, this is good. I'm playing this. And I as I said during the thing, I hope it just plays the song on repeat while you're just playing the expansion pack. Everything is
No
it's just
other
on
music. It's just
on no
everything
other
is
music.
awesome.
I don't want any other music. I just want that song played on repeat. Then they showed off a new trailer for Gears Pop, Kieran's favorite game of last year and his game to show 2019. presumably as well. Ash completely thought that he'd already got the game. It turns out he was playing the beta like a month or so ago, whenever that was.
A while ago,
the trailer announced that the game is now available for
you can still
pre-order.
pre-order it.
Yeah. So you was
The thing for me
definitely
is
playing
when
the beta.
when they flicked to the gameplay, it just looked like Clash of Clans or something, and I'm like,
Yeah, it is. So
no, I'm good.
You didn't mind it though, did you, Ash?
it's fine. It's just a simple tower defense-ish sort of game. So
Yeah. Whatever. It's a game.
it's a game. It's a mobile
thing.
game.
It's a mobile game. You got State of Decay 2, Survive the Heartland, some story thing. I personally don't really keep up or care for State of Decay, so State
of Decay was such a weird
did
just
nothing for me.
launch, and just everything that happened with it. It's just odd. That's all I have to say.
I don't have nothing to say either. This made me not want to play the game, no more than I already wanted to play the game, which was already pretty low. So I hope for people out there who already like the game, this did something. Sure, but other than that,
It's something.
good. It's a thing. Then they did this whole Smilegate team up thing, which I haven't had a chance to actually look up and find out what the fuck any of this is. So, Crossfire X, the trailer was just a bunch of army dudes or some shit just somehow surviving, getting blown out of a building, and a bunch of weird. I don't know. I don't know what
it just looked really stupid that they're underwater and he does a motion and you're like, what's going to happen? And then it's just like he's telling his team to swim upwards. Like, hey guys, we need to get to the surface, by the way. Go that way.
Okay, so apparently it's a free-to-play first-person shooter and one of the most played PC games in the world with 650 million players.
Wait, in China?
In China?
South Korea.
South Korea, okay.
Well, Smilegate's South Korean, so Xbox players can look forward to a platform of rich experiences, including a single-player campaign developed in partnership with Remedy Entertainment, Battle Royale, competitive multiplayer, and unique content for Xbox Game Pass members.
Well, I know that it's like there's all these big Battle Royale. Like, I know one of the biggest Battle Royale games over there, I think, is one that we don't even have. And it's a free-to-play one. And I was looking at screenshots the other day, and I think it's put out by... that company that teamed up with Pokemon the other month, whatever, I can't remember their name, but like it's a game they put out and it's ridiculous the amount of players they have on a monthly basis. I'm like, I've never even heard of this game, but people over there are, they're going nuts. So it's weird, these games that can just exist. You have no idea that have such player bases. I personally don't really care. So
yep,
that's about Crossfire X. Interesting CG trailer. It was very not really.
Actually,
it was very
that just reminded me.
Boring.
I saw somebody today when Phil Spencer came out. Some woman in the crowd was like throwing up an X sign, and I'm like, "What is?
Maybe
what is
she's
this?"
part of the team or something.
Like she was just like X.
Oh no,
and I'm like,
maybe it's Xbox.
She wanted X to give it to her.
Okay. Then we got a Borderlands 3 trailer. Borderlands 3, but it was followed up with the announcement of the leaked DLC, confirmed the leaked DLC, which is going to be DLC for Borderlands 2, the Handsome Collection, not the actual original Borderlands 2, particularly the Borderlands 2 that's part of the Handsome Collection. That'll be a bridge between 2 and 3.
which I like, and that's pretty cool.
It's interesting. It's cool.
Yeah. I like it. Like, not many studios go back to their old game.
Really old game.
Yeah, a really old game, and be like, here's DLC for it to get ready for number 3. It's like
smart.
awesome.
Yeah.
Especially seeing as it's everywhere now for free at the moment, pretty much.
Yep. Game Pass, PS Plus, fucking PC's probably had it for free on some Humble Bundle or some shit by now.
Yeah.
I presume everyone owns that game. I think I own it everywhere nearly. I think I own it on mobile, and it's not even out on mobile. So,
Yeah.
If anybody would, Dylan, it would be you.
So then they talked about console streaming stuff. So that's going to go into preview October 2019. I don't fully understand, and I'll have to do some reading.
So it's actually really good for us. So what it means is that instead of feeding back to Xboxes Xbox, Xbox's cloud services to get your game streaming, you can download the game to your Xbox console and then use that to stream off that to whatever you want. So it would be...
it's like what you could do with your PS Vita. Stream your PS4 onto your PS Vita.
It's like localizing it. So you don't have to stream from anywhere else. You're just streaming from that console to your whatever you're using to play or stream on.
Okay. So your phone, your laptop, what have you.
Yeah, whatever. So the problem with Stadia is that you're going from Google servers to whatever device you're using, whereas this is you make your Xbox the server, the cloud-based server, and then you go from there. Okay. So it kind of cuts out some of the problems that we might have in Australia, where it's like too many jumps to get your game to you, where you can just do it from your console.
Yeah, I'm still just like, I personally don't understand why I would need or use this, but I'd probably still test it out once it's available, just out of interest and to be able to talk about it, I guess. But it's like if I'm out and about, say I'm out somewhere and I go to stream from my Xbox through my 4G net connection while I'm sitting in Subway. Is that what I'm doing? Am I just burning through my data in 2 seconds? What's the difference between burning through my data connected to my Xbox or burning through my data connected to Stadia? Like, either way.
So the data you could potentially probably, like, it'd be the same amount of data. It's just coming from a different place that's easier for you to connect to.
Yeah, I guess so. I have to.
Yeah,
I have to try it out and see what happens. So then, before we get to the last, we'll leave the Xbox actually for last. We'll discuss Scarlet last. So Cyberpunk, the trailer. Keanu Reeves, obviously very funny.
Yeah.
moment
of the show, I think, for most people. It was quite just him coming out. It was
almost like, for me, part of me was like, did Hideo Kojima get involved with this somehow and just be like, you need a Hollywood star. Get a Hollywood star in there.
Yeah.
But I was already excited for Cyberpunk, so I don't think they could do any wrong in my eyes unless they... And it just made me more excited for it. Like, the story trailer that they showed was fucking awesome, and then
it had personality.
Yeah. But that was one thing. Like, people did comment that they had problems with the acting and the characters of the previous ones, and I think the set of trailers we received for this kind of filled that in a whole lot and kind of and showed what character are going to come through. I'm not going to lie. I was hoping that Cyberpunk was this year, but it's not too late next year, so it's not. We don't have to wait that long.
It's April 16th, 2020. So,
which is a good time for it to come out.
Ash, what do you think? Because I'm probably going to be the downer on this.
No, it looks fine. Yeah, I mean, it was a story trailer. It was kind of a base standard story for that sort of thing. I mean, oh no, the guy betrayed him, even though they got the chip for them. You know? I mean, it was cool how he pulled out those freaking blades out of his arm and stuff. So there's going to be some interesting augmentations and that sort of thing. Yeah, I think so.
Other than the Keanu thing, I think the Cyberpunk trailer was shit. Straight up.
Really?
I didn't like it at all. I thought it was very boring. It's just a very typical, as Ash is saying, it was just a very typical. They come out, they're like, oh, it's a deal gone wrong. And he's like, I suppose he's got precognition or some sort of installation or something like that in the bathroom. I thought he was like supposed to be seeing stuff. Fights a bunch of dudes, whatever. Doing nothing for me, that trailer, at all. Didn't find it super interesting. None of the characters stood out. Very stereotypical dude smoking a cigar. Hey, put it, come in the thing. Just like, whatever. I'm not saying it looks bad. I just think for this game, and for me especially, for someone who didn't dislike, but was critical of the gameplay and had some problems with what was shown in that, this for me doesn't do anything to like bring that up for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was already critical of the gameplay and the story thing they released last year, where I was like, some of this writing seems off, the characters seem I'm having some issues here. This trailer comes out, it does nothing to rectify any of those problems I had. So it doesn't make me go down in hype. It just leaves me going, I'm at where I was before I saw this trailer. So I don't know if that's really a good or bad thing. But at the same time, Keanu Reeves come out and I'm like, well, really, actually, Keanu Reeves, I've gone up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So ultimately,
I mean,
probably,
did the Witcher trailers like make you want to play The Witcher? Or was it everybody
yes.
saying
Oh my God, yes.
the gameplay?
No. I remember that trailer came out where they showed Geralt riding that horse along a path, and the game never looked that good when it actually released. But when I remember the first time watching that at E3, I was like, oh my fucking God, what is this game? And that's when I went back and looked into The Witcher 2 and stuff, because I had heard about The Witcher 2 through Good Game at the time, but I never actually played it and was super interested.
Yeah.
But I remember that trailer. It's like beautiful scenery. It was just awesome, and that made me get more interested in the Witcher property and franchise. I was like, this looks really, really great. Cherie in the chat, by the way, says it didn't hype me too much. It looked good. It was a hype trailer. They had an opportunity to make a big statement and bring a story trailer later. I think. I think it's weird for a studio that's kind of known for its story coming off The Witcher 3 to have such a generic trailer for a release date trailer, which it is. It's like release date trailer, technically, I guess. So we'll get to it later, but yeah, whatever. We'll see more. They do obviously have months, but
I'm assuming they're going to show people like full on gameplay at the show.
They could release gameplay.
That's what they did last year.
The YouTube thing, or during the conference, during the E3 show itself, and I hope they do. And I hope we do see more. I'm just saying, for a trailer that's promoting as a release date, that'll probably get circulated quite a lot because it was showing the Xbox thing. I think it was underwhelming somewhat. So then before Scarlet, we'll talk about the Halo thing. Halo Infinite. Yeah. Ciaran.
I've got a list of stuff we've missed. Do you want to go through that first?
Okay, yeah, quickly go over that if you want to.
Okay. So we got Blair Witch from
the
creatives behind Layers of Fear.
Cool trailer.
Which we didn't know what it was for ages.
Yeah, well, I was like, Silent Hill, and then I started being like, Blair Witch? And then it turned out to be Blair Witch, so we got there eventually. I'll play that. It looks cool. Obviously, I need gameplay, though. None of that was actual gameplay.
I bet Ash was excited.
He was pumped.
Ash was just like,
super not.
Like, just gonna jump right into it. Just like launch day.
No.
Twitch.tv/Explosion Network. Ashley will be playing Blair Witch Project.
It looks weird. We're just going to be walking around a forest for like 10 hours? Is that
That's the movie. Is that the
game?
Done.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Randomly procedurally done trees and stuff, yeah.
I hope there's a part where you can have a giant snot bowl coming out of your nostril, so that's cool. That's a shout out to the original movie, by the way.
Okay. We also got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which is the story-based Goku movie.
Which is so weird. I'm like, are they like, hey guys, it's been a while since we've done the full story of Dragon Ball Z in a video game. Let's do it again.
They've never done a proper... Well, we don't know all the details on this. This is the thing. And I'm hoping it's... Because they're saying it's an action RPG, which I'm hoping means it's somewhat an open world thing, which is what they was teasing in the original trailer, where it just showed Goku walking along roads and stuff. It never actually showed any gameplay stuff. Obviously, this trailer just showed a bunch of fights, like mainline anime fights. He's fighting Frieza.
I'm just not... Dragon Ball Z games have looked the same for...
Very long time.
For a very long time, and I don't love it. Like, it's just...
Well, I don't care for the fighting ones. I don't care for the ones, the one that came out last year, the esports one, right? I don't care for that. That does nothing for me. If this is a story-based, actually a action RPG with where you can interact with characters in the world, and you can walk around the town, and you can go to fucking... You can be like, hey, Boba, what's up, homie? And, Krillin's walking down the street, and you're like, hey, man. You do... Like, if this is what it is, cool. Because my favorite Dragon Ball game was... RPG on the GBA. I can't remember the actual name of it. There was one on the Game Boy.
Legend of Goku or something like that.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
That was that's my favorite one.
Cool.
That was a really, really cool one. So if this is more along that line, and the graphics obviously a lot better these days. So it just looks better than the anime somewhat, I guess, because technology is a lot better now. So I don't know how big the story is. That's what I was saying during the thing. Is it just up to the Cell Saga? Is it up to the Frieza Saga? Are we going up to Majin Buu over here? Like, that's a very long game. What are we doing?
Potentially.
So...
Why not?
What are you smirking at, Ciaran, over here? I said Majin Buu, and he's like...
It's just there's a lot. Dragon Ball Super is a thing.
It is.
There's timelines. There's timelines.
Yeah, we got Dragon Ball
Very
GT.
different.
We don't talk about that though.
We don't know. He talks about GT anymore, Dylan. That's not a thing. Why did you bring it up? They're gonna come find you right now and take you away.
Dragon Ball, that's cool.
Yeah. We also got a story trailer for Dying Light 2.
Oh yeah, Troy Baker.
Dying Light.
I don't know if it's actually Troy Baker. I think it's Troy Baker.
Another freaking zombie game where the protagonist is like, I'm infected, and there's gonna be some kind of time-based mechanic with my character to stay alive.
I never played the first one, so my feelings for this.
Dying Light 1 was really good. Dying Light 1 was very good, but yeah, it's just a trope we've seen before.
Yep.
IMDb says Ryan Lawton. I don't know if that's the main character. Is Jack the main character? Maybe.
I think it's a new character, so
then maybe it's that actor. They sound like Troy Baker.
It could. I'm sure a lot of people are trying to be like Troy Baker. So. We also got the Elden Ring trailer.
No, yeah.
Which told us barely anything.
I was less excited for this. It was a weird trailer. George R.R. Martin, I'm like, oh, cool. George is here. We already know it's a thing. I have no idea what the fuck this game is.
It's a Souls game.
It's probably just another Souls game, yeah.
Yeah. I need gameplay. I need a bit more detail. As a teaser trailer, sure. Cool, I guess, somewhat. I suppose it potentially seemed to tease a more fantasy setting. Like watching it, I got feelings, was both thinking of Lord of the Rings, but it wasn't just because of the ring stuff. It was just the themes that they were showing, not like outside of the name, but then also the fact that someone's having a ray and that the characters look like they could be fantasy settings. The armor looked more fantasy like. So, and I definitely think there's a fantasy, like I mean like Lord of the Rings fantasy compared to like what they've done in Dark Souls, which is more gothic fantasy stuff. Yeah. Fantasy, and I'm thinking Lord of the Rings fantasy, like elves and whatever have you.
High fantasy.
Yeah, high fantasy stuff.
Like to label it something.
Thank you, Dungeon Master.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is. I'm thinking it's more high fantasy, which could be interesting.
Yeah.
We just need gameplay. We need more about it.
So we also got Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Oh yeah, I'll play this.
Yeah. In its press release, it says it's a brand new Lego video game, unlike any other. So whether that means it's remastered or not.
How many times
I think it's fresh.
Can they redo each movie in a Lego game? Are they just going to be like just poured over?
Well, I'll say
original?
as someone like I played the originals on PS2, right? I never played the remastered or whatever versions they were. I played the Force Awakens one when that released. So it's been so long since I've played the Lego versions of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's been a couple of years since I played the Force Awakens one. They never made one for The Last Jedi. They're going to interweave this whole thing into one game, so it'll probably get rid of a lot of the mediocre sections and levels to fit it all into one game. And I'd presume heavily that if there's going to be a big section, it'll be like, 50% or 60% other games, and then maybe like a bigger 30 or 40% of the game will actually just end up being Rise of the Skywalker levels anyway, just with some other stuff weaved in, I guess. So people will play it. I'll play it. Kids will play it.
Yeah, definitely.
You said you would play it, and then you said kids would play it. It's pretty much the same thing.
Exactly.
It's true. What else we got? We got Phantasy Star Online 2 is coming to Xbox.
Cool.
The Tales game I was interested in. Tales of
Arise.
Looks good. I like Tales. Tales is pretty cool.
It looks more realistic than the other ones, so
yeah,
they got that Final Fantasy look.
I'm excited.
Big eyes. There was RPG Time: The Legend of Wright, or Drawn to Death 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. I don't understand what that game is, but the art style and stuff was interesting. Obviously,
You know what would make that game? A crank.
Shut the fuck up.
Just.
Well, if you buy an Xbox Elite 2 Series 2 controller, you can get a crank added.
Hopefully, I can hook my Elite Series 2 controller up to my crank.
Did you see it? You take the
crank.
You tank and you like twist the thing. It's like a
twist
key.
It, you crank it. It's a crank.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
You're welcome.
We also saw Spiritfarer, which is a unique third production from Thunder Lotus, a cozy management game about dying. You play Stella, ferry master to the deceased, build a boat to explore the world, care for your spirit friends, and finally release them into the afterlife.
It's one of the best games of Sean. I kind of forgot about it. So
yeah, it looked very pretty. It's very
pretty.
cool art style.
Very cool.
So
I
yeah,
like
it's
the boat building aspect.
I'm even more excited now that I know it's about death.
You would be. Hey guys, just me.
There was that Road to the Woods.
Yeah, Way to the Woods.
Way to the Woods.
The deer and Forgan game.
Sound of Music
that
game?
looked pretty.
Sound of Music game.
It's like Bambi 2.
Yep. Bang.
Tokyo Jungle 2. Just take
it's going to be a really short game then if you're playing as Bambi's mum.
Yeah.
Yep. You go around feeding Bambi cans of Coke and stuff, and then because it's breaking them vending machines to get. Yeah,
it's really smashing shit up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just fucking
Bambi's mum's revenge. That's what it is.
I thought it was a game where he's playing as the deer that wanders through like The Last of Us, and it wanders into that mall where Ellie and her girlfriend are in the Left Behind DLC, and they're smashing shit up in there.
Maybe Secret Last of Us D.
Secret Last of Us.
The only other one is 12 minutes. The romantic.
I wonder how long what
time
the
loop
timeline
thing.
is. Wonder what the timeline is for those series of events. Like, is it going to be over a couple of days? Is it going to be like you get there in the morning and then the events happen at night?
I looked on Reddit quickly, and I think it happens over 12 minutes.
Ooh.
Fuck, that makes so much sense.
And in case you didn't know by watching the trailer, they summed it up perfectly at the end where they explained that you will play over 12 minutes several times in a continuing time loop.
Oh.
I like that trailer and it looks really cool, but
Yeah.
the end part was just like, are you fucking like, how much faith do you have in this Xbox audience to be like, in case you didn't understand the trailer, let me explain it to you. The game developer was like, we wanted to call it something else. They're like, no, you can't call it that. No one will understand what the game's about. Call it 12 minutes. Was that it?
Yep, that's it.
All right. So last thing, not last thing. Halo Infinite. Kieran,
I'm pretty
explain
pumped
what
up.
the fuck this is.
there's it's obviously a time jump from after Halo 5, after Cortana lost her shit. The thing in his hand is what Cortana used to be. It was quite sad that she wasn't there anymore still. And then it was just, you know what, like Halo as a franchise has these really cool moments of just like action movie style. Master Chief is locked and loaded and ready to go moments, and you just feel like, yes, I want to charge into battle and kill everything. And that was that moment where he's like, "We've got to go fight," and I'm like, "That's a Master Chief line right there. Let's go!" And I was excited that they didn't just end with him going out into the whiteness, and we actually got a bit more. The Halo's broken. I'm excited. Halo Infinite. It's going to be on.
Infinite.
It's going to be on this new console-y thing.
I've got a full year to play all the Halo games.
Yep, that's, Gears first. Let's focus on getting Gears done first.
To be fair, I've said a couple times, I have played Halo 1 and 2, but I basically only
You can play my favorite one with me on the PC, which is Halo Reach.
Oh, interesting. I only ever played the multiplayer.
Does that matter?
What?
Reach isn't a Master Chief game, so it doesn't count. Right?
But Reach is the prequel.
Yeah,
Reach happens
Ash.
before Halo
Sounds
1,
unnecessary.
actually.
Yeah, Ash.
It's
Fucking hell.
very good.
Get the shit out.
It's a great game.
Straight
It's my
shit out.
favorite. So fuck you, Hobbly.
Yeah, so the last thing that was shown was they announced that Halo will be coming. Well, Halo was last, but before that, they announced Halo will be coming to the next Xbox, the next generation of Xbox, which is still doesn't have an official name. Project Scarlet officially said it's coming holiday 2020. Do you know the official ruling of what they consider holiday? Is it November or is it October? Like what is it? Is it November to December?
I think it's November. Because their holiday period starts with Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving
When's
is
Thanksgiving?
November.
end of October,
Okay.
November-ish. Yeah, is around there. Like that's like Thanksgiving through to Christmas and stuff, and New Year's is their holidays period in America.
Okay, so we're looking at a late October to December-ish release for next Xbox, obviously. What they showed and talked about was pretty much just beat for beat comparisons and ticking the same boxes that PlayStation has released.
Yeah.
And I've got
it makes more sense now why they did that interview if they weren't going to E3.
Well, it makes me wonder if, like, did the PlayStation get wind of what Xbox was going to talk about and then they release information for this, or Xbox simply, once the PlayStation information came out, they knew what the boxes they had to tick, because they didn't really talk about anything other than what PlayStation had already ticked box. They're like, hey, what's our we got a gnarly chip, AMD, cool, ray tracing, tick that box, 8K, even though it's probably not really a thing, much like it is the PlayStation. I highly don't. That's just some keyword that's been thrown around. Tick that box nonetheless. SSDs, tick that box. There was that one part where the guy
Loading
was like, where we've got SSDs with our standard solid state drives. I'm like, it's the same fucking thing.
Like,
what are you talking about?
Thing.
Yeah. I was like, it's the
you
same
sound
fucking
like an
thing.
idiot. The other thing that really got me, and this is my PC-ness in me, like had a moment of, fuck, you're an idiot, guys, is they're talking about all like these, we've never gone to these places before, blah, 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 blah. Obviously talking about just consoles, but they're like, we go into frames that are unimaginable. 120 frames a second.
Well,
120 frames. I was like, okay, 140 at least, right? 140, yeah? No, 100.
It's revolutionary. Never been that high before.
I get it. It's double what consoles can do, but like, god damn.
The consoles struggle for 60 at the moment, to be fair.
Yeah, I know. So it is revolutionary for consoles, but
for everything.
No, I mean, no.
Mm.
Nearly every game I boot up on my new PC just jumps automatically up to 200 and something frames. But yeah, no, 120. I doubt they're going to hit 120 on most big titles anyway. I highly doubt it, to be honest. As long as if they hit 60, if that's the if that's the thing for the next generation, is like every game has to hit 4K 60 frames per second at minimum. Then I'm happy, because that should be just the golden standard going forward. This 120 frames per second thing is just going to be
it's like that's the top, like that's the most we can do.
Yeah, that's not going to happen for most games though, and I highly
like this
doubt it.
one time I saw it get to 120 frames, so we can put that on the box.
Yeah. You'll see. They'll be able to play Battlefield or whatever Call of Duty on next gen console, and they'll be like, oh yeah, this runs at like 90 frames per second in multiplayer or something. You know, they might be able to stretch it. I highly doubt games like that are going to run 120 and stuff. We'll see. Maybe in single player, they're like, oh, we can get it to 120. Multiplayer with stuff. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But just lots of keywords and stuff happening. What other keywords were they chucking in? I can't even remember now. It was a bunch of clicky stuff. Load times, as Ash was just saying before. So obviously they spend a lot of time about load times. They mentioned how basically the Spider-Man thing they talked about, which was, swinging through the city and the world's loading as fast and there's no pop in from textures and these sorts of things. They talked about how with the load times, not only for the stuff PlayStation was talking about, but also like, hey, you'll be able to Game Pass. You'll be like, I want to play this game, and then it's going to download and load so fast that you'll be in it within a hot second and be able to boot it up and play for it. But they said that it's going to be 4 times the power of the Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting, if true. I guess that would be set quite a bar, because they certainly aren't lying when they're saying Xbox One X is currently the most powerful console around. It is. No one's really debating that. 4 times the power of One X is. I mean, if it's true, yeah, that's pretty powerful. So we'll have to see how PlayStation comes back for this. But yeah, I don't think they announced anything super or talked about anything super interesting, because PlayStation got there first.
Holiday 2020 for you guys too far away? Like, is it like, were you expecting it any earlier?
Not really.
No.
Not really?
No. I thought that's probably when
just 2020 in general.
Yeah.
The only thing that feels weird for me is talking about this technology now when you're not releasing something till holiday 2020, and it's like technology changes a lot before then. So
yeah, that's why they can't talk about it too much. It's like, we've got this Navi GPU, we've got this other thing. Of course, it now becomes interesting because PlayStation's laid out their hand a little bit, and now Xbox has laid out their hand a little bit more, saying a like some sort of release date with the holiday stuff. So now we wait for PlayStation, and obviously the thing
Are they
happens
going to
now.
go early?
Are they going to go
at the same
earlier, or are they
time?
going to go later? And because last generation they went earlier, so I presume they'd want to go earlier as well. So then now we're going to have to do a lot of so when's the PS5 potentially happening? Because I'd be really, really fucking surprised if the PlayStation launches after the Xbox. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Xbox will be the last of all of them out. And then also with it coming out holiday 2020, that means they get to finish up this year pretty much, with this being the last year of the Xbox One. And obviously the Xbox One will continue for several years after the Scarlet, and the PS4 will continue for many years after that as well. But once we get into next year and we start heading into next year, you're just going to see a lot of, because you need at least that 9 months of good promotion for the console and stuff. So once we head into next year, it's just like, it begins pretty much. So, and we're in June now, so it's really not that long until we're in like a year long of, or that 9 month cycle of hype leading into the next generation of consoles, especially if PlayStation comes several months before, because then we're like, okay, we're only we hit January, we're only 6 months away, we're only 7 months away, and then once we hit the PS4, we're already in next gen, and then that couple months before the Xbox releases is everyone's already feeling next gen anyway. So it may sound like ages away, but I think once the news cycle and the PlayStation, all these things sort of thing coming along, once we start learning more details, we're there. We're not that far away from hitting next gen stuff happening. Cherie said, I've seen some tweets about the whole not showing console stuff. I don't think they've locked in and know what the fuck it even looks like. So I don't think it matters.
No, that's what it looks like. The Scarlet is what the console looks like.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just little pieces coming up.
I think that either they'll do an event around March,
A special reveal event, yeah.
something, and show it around then. That, as I was saying, that 9 month cycle. They could leave it to E3 next year to reveal, but I think that's way too late if they're going to release it holiday. So I would say
it'll be PSX, right? Like,
yeah, I think they'll probably do a reveal event for the console like that 9 months prior thing, so March or April-ish or late
when they
February or
launch
something.
like pre-orders and stuff. Like
Yeah,
proper pre-orders.
that's when they'll reveal the console. Yeah, I don't think we needed to see it now, so I don't care. That's fine. That's about it, unless there was any other little tidbits for the Xbox conference. But
No, I think we covered everything.
That was
overall, considering that's probably
it was a good show.
Overall,
it was a manageable.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't mind blowing or like game changing, but it was a good show. And you know what? I have hope. I think we're gonna have another year or two of building block shows for Microsoft, because they're still, they've gathered these game developers the last year or two. Those game devs need to start actually working on games that are just for Microsoft.
They pretty much said that, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we've got another year or two of E3 of conferences where Microsoft does like a decent show, but then I think they'll pick up speed with their own releases and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to Microsoft's future.
Okay, cool. Good way to start E3, I think, overall as well, considering this will probably be the biggest show and decent. And it was a decent show to kick things off with. So hopefully no one else lets us down. Of course, stay tuned to explosionnetwork.com/E3 for all that sort of stuff. And make sure you check out all our special episodes of Arcade Couch as well. You'll find those on twitch.tv/Explosion Network live, depending on when you're listening to this, or youtube.com/Explosion Network, or the podcast feed where you're listening to this as well, of course. And we will have a normal episode of Arcade Couch late Saturday releasing as well, that where we'll wrap up the overall biggest news stories and other tidbits that happen and smaller games that are missed in between the ranks and what have you later in the week as well. So we will see you later, or listen to you later. No, you listen to us, whatever. Anyway, bye.
Whatever.
See ya.